system, your
world will never be the same again. In television, Odyssey, a new dimension.
Space Central. Real. Only from Panasonic.
Graphic 16 from NEC.
4,000 games console.
Astro K. The Professor.
And below. R26. Now get up to
CDI starting at $299.
Child video entertainment system. Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. With everything on every system, you're guaranteed to see a video game you've never seen before. We're going back to 1982, where we're playing all the games released at some time in May, and we last checked out the Dark Castle game system for the TRS-80 color computer. A very ambitious and very buggy release, but still an excellent title, really fun to play. Let's continue and see what our next game is. We're next going to the Atari home computer, and this is Dungeon Quest Hellfire Warrior. One we've seen a few times before on the Commodore PET and the Apple II, but here we go, the release that we heard about in Softline. It's finally on the Apple. All the Apple fans, I'm sorry, it's finally on the Atari. Oh man, all the Apple fans, the Atari fans are going to get me for that one. But it's finally on the Atari home computer. Let's take a look at the box. Hellfire Warrior. Man, epic front of the box. You can see this is the cassette version, also had a disc version as well. Sequel to the best-selling Temple of Apshai, ultimate challenge for experienced players and veteran characters. Nowadays, we would have called this a DLC because you need to have the original version of Temple of Apshai to play this sequel. But it is the true sequel to Temple of Apshai. Let's flip it over on the back, and you can see by Epics, or Automated Simulations, the sequel to the best-selling Temple of Apshai. It's one player only, a true bare-bones role-playing experience. Yeah, that's true. At least they use the same CPU, but we all know those Apple fans are out there and there's Atari fans are out there, so got to be careful. I've already messed up one time confusing Apple and Atari just because we go from platform to platform. Never again. So this one is ages 10 to adult. It takes 30 minutes to forever to play this, and they've said that on the few Dungeon Quest games. This is epic. It's a role-playing experience, very dungeon crawl-esque. You design a character, go down in the dungeon, and fight. You can see we have lots of summary and scenario on the left side. Object of the journey is to rescue the warrior maid Brynhild and bring her back to sun and air to break the spell that binds her. And the original Temple of Apshai had floors 1 through 4, and then Hellfire Warrior takes over from that, and you have 5, 6, 7, and I think it's level 8 after that. Let's see what we have for Hellfire Warrior. Besides the box, we also have the ad. This is one by TSE Heartside. At last, the sequel to Temple of Apshai, Hellfire Warrior, adds 4 more dungeons, lower reaches of Apshai's dungeon. There you go, 4 more. So 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And if you're a beginner, perhaps you'd explore other regions because Hellfire was for the hardened, and it's true. Looks like it was $25 on cassette, $30 on disc. So if you play Temple of Apshai and you started the game, you would want to pick one of the lower levels, get your character up to speed, experience, and so forth, and then once you have a really good character, then work on another level and then farther down. And now Hellfire Warrior, you start at 5, so you gotta make sure you have a good character before you take it on, which means we're probably gonna die a lot because we don't have a character saved. Let's take a look at the manual for Hellfire Warrior. So what was in the box, just like we've seen on the other computer versions, is an epic manual. I believe this one is 36 pages. Don't quote me on that one. But just like the front of the box, we know we're going to get into something hardcore role-playing. It has lots of story, lots of lore. Same system as Dungeon Quest. You see it begins in level 5, 6, 7, and 8. Look at the title for the levels. Level 5 is the lower reaches of Apshai. Level 6 is the Labyrinth. Level 7 is the Vault of the Dead. And level 8 is the Plains of Hell. Makes me think of Doom, actually, for the titles. But you start with the Innkeeper, finding a character, or you can create your own character from scratch. And then that character can be used throughout the Dungeon Quest series. We've seen other role-playing games do this where you just save them to disk. You can label the disk with whatever the character's name is, and then every time you want to play, you pop in that character. Very, very nice. And Automated Simulations does epic role-playing games just like Ultima, just like Wizardry. I would say this one is not as polished as the other ones, but still a good time if you're wanting to spend months and months playing a role-playing game. So before you start, it says the first thing you have to do to play is locate the separate special instructions sheet and read it carefully. If your game does not include one, run. Do not walk back to your dealer or contact us directly to get one. You cannot pass, go, or collect $200 without that sheet. If after reading the special instruction sheet and this book of lore you have a problem with your game, their customer service department will help you. Remember phones, calling in customer service? That's what you did. So newcomers to Dungeon Quest must note that Hellfire Warrior was designed as a challenge. It's advanced characters and experienced players only. So there's an introductory game called the Datestones of Ren, which we've seen if you want to look in the links down below. Datestones of Ren was a milder version of this role-playing game. Oh, that's right. There's no Coco version of this one, so we won't see one later. I'm pretty sure somebody had to have made a homebrew version or ported it later on. But yeah, nothing on the Coco. That's too bad. So if you played some Dungeon Quest games before, many rules and procedures are familiar in this one. If you take the time to acquaint yourself with many new elements in Hellfire Warrior, like the Innkeeper commands, Armor, Apothecary, Magic Shop, you'll have a more enjoyable and more rewarding quest. We are not going to go through the entire manual. Like most role-playing games, it is extensive. There is so much lore, so many things. Like here you go. This is the introduction. Did your friends of your youth include Alibaba, Aladdin, Cinderella, Snow White? If you grew older, you traded diploma, college, and station wagon, house for suburbs. In other words, they're breaking down, what is a role-playing game? Well, it's a chance to step outside a world grown too prosaic for magic and monsters. And they just kind of tell you this is what a role-playing game is all about. Very nice. That's true. Hellfire Warrior, I would have been grounded so bad for this. Yes. The premise of the game, and obviously the satanic panic that was happening now, and this must have been one of those, like, you want to get down and dirty and play a role-playing game. This is it. All right, so we got some cool artwork. It looks like it's penciled in. I can't tell by the artist initial in the bottom, but nice touches for the manual. Love that. So it breaks down what role-playing games are here. Again, lots of text to read through, and you want to dive in and be part of this game. This is another one of those, let's explore and live the game because it's so massive. Yeah, D&D, move from the board to the video game. It's so cool that they did this. This is obviously taking homage to Advanced Dungeons & Dragons. Oh yeah, Ultima style. Of all the games we've seen so far, I still give it to Ultima as just a notch above Wizardry. It's like the best role-playing experience. This one is, in my opinion, the lower tier. But if you played it back in the day, give me your thoughts on what you thought. So characters and equipment, it breaks down here. Like other role-playing games in Dungeon Quest, you have lots of complex factors that make being human, because there's no other races. You just are one race. You have strength, constitution, dexterity, intelligence, intuition, and ego, and that one just lets you haggle better in the stores. With a few other things, there's also how much weight you can hold with items, and it's a pure dungeon explorer or dungeon crawl game. You go down in the dungeon, you fight enemies, you find treasure chests, and then you take those, come back to the inn, level up your character, and then continue to go back and forth until hopefully you don't die, because it is permadeath. Once the character's dead, that's it. If you saved, I don't even know if this one can be saved. Yeah, it can be saved. You can save your character to a disc, whatever level you were on. Yeah, good dungeon master. Yeah, and that's true. You could play by yourself, because otherwise you'd have to be playing these games with a group of people on a tabletop. All right, so characters from other games are also in here. If you played other RPGs and want to have characters from your other game come in, you can. So if you played a bunch of Temple of Apshai, months and months, you can save that character, bring it to Hellfire Warrior, and then continue the levels down into hell. If you wish to use a character from earlier games, note that prices of the game are in gold royals. Divide your silver pieces by 10 to get the equivalent amount in gold. So there's a different currency in this game based on the other one. Hold your horses. Why do we got to get that difficult in 1981? I mean, 1982. Oh, that's right. Right protect tabs. Make sure you protect your game. All right, so scrolling again through the manual, here's how we play. If you've never played the Dungeon Quest games, this one, like the ones originally on the PET, are text parser. So you are typing in keyboard only. Even though we're on the Atari 400 and 800, why? Why did they not program this to use an Atari joystick? It is the coolest to plug in your joystick and play, but no, they didn't do it. It's still keyboard. So you begin with the Innkeeper. Once you know, and we'll see that when we get into the game, and then you can generate your character. You can start from scratch, or they will create a character and randomize all the stats. This one does not let you switch to another character. So after they roll the dice and you get a character, that's it. You have to reset the game if you want a new character. You don't get to pick another one, like in Ultima or in Wizardry. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, so we got attributes over here that are going to be randomized, and then you're allowed to bargain in this game like a few other role-playing games in 1982, and then we have the armory to pick up swords, armor, and then we have the apothecary, the magic shop that we'll be visiting if you want to, and then the character display shows you what it's like on the screen. Multiple levels of play. It depends on which level in the dungeon you're going to. But everything... oh, yeah, that's right. You also get speed to how fast the enemies are going to be attacking. It's a turn-based game, but it's kind of a timed turn-based game. So when an enemy shows up, you have a certain amount of time to put in a command on the keyboard until they attack. And you can decide if you want it to be fast or slow. So the Dungeon Master, what happens after you enter the dungeon? The display screen is over here on the left side. Now, originally when this was on the Commodore PET, there wasn't as many graphics. We have more. We actually have a little bit of animation for the attacking on the Atari home computer. and they see over here the key description shows you everything that's happening, because there's a very large user interface on the side of the screen telling what everything is. All right, so, and there you go, the commands. You need to know what the commands are because everything is typed in. How you move around, I'll show you when we get to the game, if you haven't seen any of the other Dungeon Quest games. And then we have the attack commands and special commands. And then how we find treasure. Each treasure chest appears as a small rectangle within a room or corridor. There can be a hint in the room description to find out what kind of treasure is in a room. You have to move up to it and grab it. So you push G to take your turn to pick up the treasure. And then there's also traps, secret doors, magic treasures that you can find in the dungeons. You can drop treasures because you have weight. And if you pick too much stuff up while you're in the middle of the dungeon, you get weighed down. And I do not know if when you get weighed down, do you just stop or do you move really slow? I think it just affects your attack power. And you can also make sure you heal yourself with salves. And then you also have attack commands. You can get a bow and arrow and do ranged attacks, close melee attacks. And then you even have fatigue. If you do lots of sword swipes over and over again and no one's there, your fatigue goes down. And then you can sit there and wait for a little bit, and then get your stamina back. And then whenever you die, make sure you watch your wounds, because if you get resurrected, all the hard work, you should find yourself dead. Don't panic. All may not be lost. After all, you're not the old adventurer in the dungeon. Some kind soul will stumble across your lying body and can drag you out of safety if they see that you're resurrected. Of course, if you've gone to all the trouble, he most likely will want something in return, so you give him a little money for helping you out. If you do die or simply eaten by a monster that killed you, fresh adventure is considered a delicacy by many monsters, and your skin is, oh gosh. The worst cases, you could be found in 3 individuals, a dwarf, a wizard, or a cleric, and they require some kind of payment for helping you get out of the dungeon. But sometimes I've played the game and I died and nobody helped me, and I just had to restart from the very beginning, which probably will happen now because we're playing on the next game in the series, and we're not loading a character that we had played months and months on Temple of Apshai. All right, so just like the other ones, monsters are going to be described in the manual. So when you come across one, the original one on the Commodore PET had just a few pixels to describe the monster. And then it told you on the screen, this is an orc. And you're like, okay, from the 4 pixels, I'll read about the orc, and it'll give you a description in the manual what the orc looks like, because you didn't have it on the game. All right, so the innkeeper will take a look at your treasures, evaluate them for you, and then give you some money for it. And then, of course, all the fighting you get experience points for whenever you venture into the dungeon. All of your points will go up. Basically, more experience points your character accumulates, the easier it'll be to handle difficult situations. And then save that character. And here we go. It goes into the lore of the game. The Adventures of Brian Hammerhand. That's right. I don't think you get to pick the name. Every time you play, you're Brian Hammerhand. And they go through the story here. Lots of lore to read. A good read if you want to play a good role-playing game in 1982. Here it is, all the monsters. So when the game says there's a giant mosquito on the screen, you're like, okay, let me find in the manual, giant mosquito there. And you read about what it is, the description. Yeah, big time lore dump. And I can imagine reading all of this for every game. There's a few games in 1982 that we come across and we can play in 10 seconds and you figure out what the game is. No problem, no lore. But then we get this, massive amounts of lore. There's no way we could cover it all. We could do the whole episode, the hour-long episode just on this. So that we also break down the dungeon in the manual. It tells you about all the room descriptions. So when you go into one, you can go in the manual and read about what else is in the room, because they can't draw it all on the game. More help to, I guess, the limitation of the time, not showing on the screen, the manual has everything for you. Yeah, it does sound like that. Brian Hammerhand. And then it also breaks down the 6, or not the treasures you'll find within the dungeon. And then, yeah, level 7, the Vault of the Dead. Yeah, and level 8. Oh, there we go. Nice. The Plains of Hell. And there he is, Brian Hammerhand. Exactly how I would have expected him to look. And there we go with the other games by Epix, Rescue at Rigel, and so forth. So there we go. After that, we have the reference card too. So while we're playing the game, this came in the box to make sure you know how to type the commands in. We'll be referring to this for sure while we play some Hellfire Warrior. At some point in May 1982, it came out on the Atari home computer by Automated Simulations, published by Epix. Yeah, I love the manual. Great artwork too. Really gets you in the mood to play some role-playing games. Now I gotta put my controller down, sadly. I want to play with the Atari VCS joystick, but no. Gotta get ready for the keyboard. One moment, please. We are gonna die a lot. I think you should be starting the game at level 10 is what was recommended. So let's push any key. We're playing the first version. Thus quoth the innkeeper, "Hail and well met. Shall I find thee a goodly character? Yea." You push Y on the keyboard to get yay. Yay. We're already in character. And then they randomize, boom. So all that's really good. Holy cow, 260 gold pieces. That's a good roll. As far as ego, though, it's kind of low. We won't be able to haggle very well. What's our character's name? Chrono. Chrono the Wise. Wilt thou buy one of our swords? Yea, we will. Now we got lots of money. Let's see if we can do the longsword. Oh, it works. Okay, so whenever you do that, it says they're asking for 5. Let's try 4 and see what they do. Done. Okay, so we did a little haggling. And we still have so much money. Okay, will we buy armor? Yes, we will. And depending on what we roll in the beginning, our characters sometimes can't wield all this stuff. Right? If we got 260 gold, why don't we just retire in the game? So we got the money. Let's try full plate. Oh, it's going to work. Now, sometimes if you pick it, if your character's not strong enough, it won't let you wield it. Let's try 98 and see if we can haggle it. Yeah, we did it. So they were offering 100. We got it lower than that. Will we buy a bow? Yeah, we got 150. I got a fine bow, nearly new for only 1 royal. Yes. How many arrows? 10 per royal. Let's do just 3 for now. And so that'll be 30. You can haggle that too. I really love the haggle aspect of it. Do you want to go on the apothecary? Nay. You want to stop at Malaclips the Mage? Yeah. Greetings. Wouldst thou have weapon enchanted? Yes. To what degree? I don't know, 5? Comes to $2,500. No, never mind. Nay. Do end. To what degree? Quit. Oh, you got. Can we? Okay, say 0. Thine offer 0. So much for that. Do you want the armor enchanted? Nay. Magical device, perhaps? Yes. What do we got? Gosh, they're so expensive. Okay, I thought we had a lot of money. I guess not. No, never mind. Nay. Monster speed. So after we go through all this, the original setup in the end, now it's going to ask us how fast we want the game to go. I'm going to do M for medium. Otherwise, we're going to die even faster than usual. Then it gives us a full summary of everything, all our stats, weapon, armor, arrows, everything that we set up. Now we're going to enter the dungeon level, and it's asking what number of levels. So Temple of Abshai was 1 through 4. The very first level we could go in on Hellfire Warrior is 5. So let's go. Loading level 5. Entering the dungeon. And at this point, the loading would be a little slower than what we're seeing now. So you get your manual out, start reading about level 5, and possibly where you're starting and where you want to go, just to get a heads up. Yeah, the charisma rating they call ego in here, and that's what we're using for haggling. Yes, if we got enough money, we'll just pay someone else to do the quest for us. Okay, we're in the game. Now, it's a text parser. So to play this, if I want to move forward, I got to put the number of steps. So if I hit number 6 on the keyboard, Brian Hammerhand walks 6 paces forward. There I am with the animation. Better than it was in the pet, at least. And if I hit number 3, I take 3 steps forward. Everyone see how cumbersome this would be? Considering what we played on Ultima and considering what we played on Wizardry. And then if I want to turn, I have to turn right by pushing R. And that turns me right toward the door. And then take like 3 steps forward. And then push the command to open the door. And... oh, the door opened. There you go. And walk through it. You just take a few steps forward. And I'm doing this all on the keyboard. There is only 1 or 2 other games we've seen that have been ported. Oh, beginning to attack. Attack. Hey, go. Too far away. Okay, come a little closer, buddy. It's a giant wasp. That's not good. Giant wasps are really bad, especially if they poison us. Struck him. Yeah, okay, we got him. Oh, nice. We haven't died as fast as I thought we would. I thought the wasp was going to get us. Oh, yeah, Rogue. Good shout out with Rogue. We haven't seen the original Rogue by Epix yet. It's already out on mainframe systems. Oh, another one's here. A giant red ant. Let's attack him. And you can see it's creating random enemies in the dungeon, and then we have to go, quick. Nice. I don't believe it. Man, Brian Hammerhand's doing great tonight. Okay, let's turn left. That's a good point. I guess you could play one hand on the keyboard and then be eating your sandwich here, because this is a game you'd be investing a lot of time in. All right, so let's take 4 steps forward and then turn to the left. Good job, Brian. And then go 7 steps all the way to the door. Oh, more. Okay, 3 more steps. And then open it up. And it's open. Go, walk through. We got it. And we have a giant centipede, not looking so good. Let's walk 3 steps forward. Let's try to get to the chest and see if we can get it. Turn to the left. 2 steps. and then the right. So this kind of command interface is similar to Crush, Crumble, and Chomp, which was another title that you'd expect to be moving around freely with a joystick, but no, you don't. Let's take 5 steps forward. Quick, he's coming. And then G, what do we got in the chest? 15. Okay, I'll take it. And then we'll turn to the right. So this is the only thing that's cumbersome about it is movement. And you have to remember all the commands. But obviously, if you forget, you have the manual next to you, and you'd have your handy-dandy reference card right here. So you'd be referring back to this to know how to play the game. Moving forward, left and right. Oh, I forgot. V. Volte-face is to turn around. See, I forgot that one. And then you have all the commands to open doors, search for traps, and then we have the attack commands. How do I switch to my normal arrow? F is to switch. Okay. And then you also have, oh, that's just other stuff about Hellfire Warrior. This is the big one. This is the reference card you'd need. It would be right next to you. All right, so F, can we fire? Oh, I don't know what that means. I don't know if that hit him or not. Let's try again. I only got like 3 arrows. No, we'll just go for a hit. Attack. Go, go, go. Oh, I don't know. I think it's missing. The arrow must be missing the centipede. Let's just see if we can walk right by him. Go, go, go. 9 more steps. Hurry, hurry. And if you look over on our stats, that shows you our wounds. Yeah, we're almost dead. Fatigue on how many times we've moved. Watch this. Let me see if walking around wears me out. Brian Hammerhand cannot even walk to save his life. He wears himself out. All right, 5 steps forward. Open up that door. Go, go, go. And if you look in the bottom right corner, the question mark that keeps coming up, that's kind of like when you can type in using the text parser. So I have to wait until the question mark appears, and then I can move or put in the command. All right, so let's turn to the right, and then about 7 steps forward. Now, when we first played this, it was the late 70s. All these Dungeon Quest games originally came out in the late 70s, and I can kind of understand playing on the Commodore PET and using the keyboard to play the role-playing games, because it's a mixture of playing the tabletop Dungeons & Dragons and what you would have played on a mainframe computer. But now it's 1982, so to play this feels not as new and fresh as the way I would describe it. I mean, you have to pick the right number, and I've even tried, come on, joystick, no, still nothing. It's only the text parser on the keyboard. I always like to try holding the joystick. Come on, please work. And I'm sure people at the time may have done that too. It opens up. Oh, what is this? Secret room? Can I even walk in there? Oh, nice. Okay, they're not stingy on that. And you can crunch into the wall. Okay, turn to the right. Notice how this chest didn't appear until I was around the corner. Like it won't let me turn. And see, this is, look at this. I have to turn around and then 5 more steps, I guess. Just bump into the wall, Brian. There we go. And then turn to the left. 3 steps, and then get it. What's in here? No! A giant mosquito appears. Attack! Yes! Okay, he missed us. We killed 3 monsters. I think that's the most we've ever done on a Dungeon Quest game. Okay, can I now get what's inside? Okay, 17 bucks. Not too bad. Let's turn left. And then 6 steps going up here. And then turn to the left. I'm pretty sure the more you'd play, you'd figure out how many steps or what number or what I need to take to move forward to the next one. But obviously, whenever you get to the end, you leave the level you're on, goes to the innkeeper, and that's where you can save, cash in any treasures you find, buy more things. And notice if I stand here and wait, my stats should let my fatigue's at 100%. But every time I attack, it wears it away. Oh, no. If I have nothing here, it doesn't swing. So that's nice. Yeah, right? There's a lot more imagination here in the 80s. And this is better than the Commodore PET. So if you get a chance to check out the Dungeon Quest games we played in the past, just to see what it looks like, this one is graphically better. But gameplay-wise, it's still late 70s, or feels that way. All right, so that's a quick taste of Dungeon Quest, Hellfire Warrior. I'll say of all the titles, it has the lore and the epicness of an incredible game. But because of the control and the other role-playing games that are available at the time, I'm only going to go an above average rating, 3.5 stars for Hellfire Warrior, similar to the other ones. It could be greater if the control was not as antiquated. Well, it's still only 1982, but there's better things out there on the home computer for role-playing that would have pushed this in a higher rank. Yeah, I see Mark's going with 3 stars, and yeah, Curtis is going with Rob on that. All right, so after Dungeon Quest, Hellfire Warrior, let's see our next game. Next one is Dungeon Quest, Temple of Apshai, but for the IBM PC. So let's see control-wise and what this game has that the other one may not have. Again, sometime in May 1982. Let's first start with the box. Just like all the other ones by Epix, Temple of Apshai is the first iteration that we originally saw in late 70s, but now here it is on the IBM PC. You can see in the top right with the sticker. 64K needed for this, the most memory of any computer game so far that we've seen on the channel. 64K to play this. Okay, so I'm looking for, is it going to have better graphics? Yeah, there you go. Graphics, computer-generated map. Apple uses high resolution and color, and that's for the Apple version. And it looks like it's all the same in the back of the box we saw before. Any other different artwork we have for Temple of Apshai? There you go, our 5 1/4 floppy disk, 64K with advanced basic and a color board. And there's an example of a screenshot. Yeah, it's not as good, right? Hellfire Warriors looks pretty nice, but this is the first one. All right, here's the manual we have for the IBM version. Temple of Apshai instruction manual. I believe this is the later version, or the later release of the instruction manual, and it should be pretty similar. Yeah, how to use it is the Book of Lore, which you need to make sure you have, and they use this also as copyright. So hidden in this manual is the code to play the game. Oh, that's true. If you bought it yourself, would you rate it higher? If you used your own money back in 1982, it's different. If this was a Christmas present, then what would you rate it? Would it be something different? All right, so again, same intro. Looks like this is the same Epix, what a role-playing game is, characters and equipment. It should look similar because, again, Hellfire Warrior is essentially an extension of Temple of Apshai. So everything looks the same here. Characters from other games. I think it's still, yeah, it's still Brian Hammerhand. Yeah, it's pretty much the same manual, copy and pasted, that we've seen since the Commodore PET version. And to my knowledge, I don't know if this was available on mainframe. It was only home computers at the time. That's it. You have to read. How many younger kids were playing this? I wouldn't think so. This might be a teenage pursuit, possibly 16 or later, that were playing the Dungeon Quest games. Yeah, so this is the exact same manual of all the other games we've seen before, even though it was the IBM PC release. Let's see what it says for, yeah, everything is here, copy-pasted. I guess we got some different artwork since it's Temple of Apshai. Nice, there he is. Oh, nice, he's got a stash. Brian Hammerhand? I didn't know he had a mustache. Yep, same story. Well, actually, no, this is the same story we've seen from the first Temple of Apshai. Hellfire Warrior did change and add little things. You know, the Legend of Ruins of Apshai. So you can read through that before you play. And here you go. This is all the monsters. And you would want to read this if you didn't have the graphics. But now, we're on 64K IBM PC playing an MS-DOS game. So this is, we're going to have better graphics to know how to play. Oh, high school on the Apple II. Nice. Yeah, we've seen the Apple II versions. This is the first one on IBM, so I want to see the difference. Okay, yeah, so we'll spare the manual. We'll refer back to it if we need to. And I don't think this one uses commands like the other one. All right, it's sometime in May 1982. This is Temple of Apshai. First time Dungeon Quest has been on DOS. All right, here we go. Copy protection already. Don't mess it up. A lone stranger wearing plate mail says, "What's the password?" And we got it. You'd find that out in the manual or the reference card, I believe. All right, so here we go. Hit any key to begin. And we're in. Thus quote the innkeeper, hail and well met. So we find the goodly character, or have you brought one with you? Say yay. Yay. Oh gosh, IBM is suckering us. Only 70 pieces of silver. Oh, that's right. It's silver for Temple of Apshai, and then gold, I believe, for Hellfire Warrior. Yes, good guess with the graphics. The one we're playing on is, CGA. That's right, yeah. And... oh, yeah, late age group. Yeah, they had AC/DC and possibly Battlestar Galactica shirts, too. All right, so what's the character's name? We're going with Capital. Oh, yeah, we got Capital. Will you buy one of our fine swords? I don't know. We only got 70 pieces of silver. What's our ego? Okay, ego is high. Maybe we can haggle. Which weapon do we want? Let's start with broadsword. Feast thy eyes upon this fine broadsword. 'Tis sure to drink thy foe's blood. What offers thou? It says 18. Let's try. Will you get 16? Ah, not so cheap. So he's going to go for 18. Got to go for 18. You have 52 pieces left. Will you buy a shield? Yes. I don't know how many we're going to be able to buy. Let's buy a small shield, and let's ask for 9. Will it work? Darn. Thou wouldst ruin me. Perchance 10? All right, fine. We'll go 10. 42 silver pieces left. Will you buy new armor? Yes. I only have 42, though. Yeah, we can just barely buy leather armor. Yeah, we'll say we'll buy leather and give it for 29. Come on, man. Done. Okay, we did haggle 1 silver away. And then we have buy a bow. No, we only have 13 left. How many salves will you buy? 10 each. So we'll buy 1 salve. 3 pieces of gold left. And here we go. You pick your speed now. ML or N. Let's do just N for normal. And will you turn off sounds? No, we want sounds on. Turn off sounds now. No, we want sounds on. And there we go. Character summary for Dungeon Quest, Temple of Apshai. And what level do you want to visit? So now, since it's the first game, it's asking for numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. When we had Chris Alimo of Classic Gaming Quarterly on and we were playing Dungeon Quest, I thought this was saying, what level, are you ready to visit the level? And I was saying yes, which is the wrong command. But it's just 1, 2, 3, or 4. We're going to start at 1 so we don't die too fast. Going to level 1. Switch the disc out and strike a key when you're ready. We're ready for level 1 of Temple of Apshai. When you're ready to continue, press a key. All right, let's in. Let's go. Now, I know this does not have any joystick support. Most of the IBM games we've seen do not have joystick support. And after we boot in, this one does not use the same keyboard commands. So in the manual, if you were to check the reference card, it's not doing the same thing. This is all used with function keys. So here we go. I'm in. Oh, it's going really fast. I think I'm doing it too quick. Okay, we did him. We beat him up. So this one uses the cursor keys to move around. You can see I almost look like a pharaoh or hieroglyphic moving left and right. But you move all the way around, and I have, I believe... Yeah, the function keys can switch out between bow and arrow or my sword, which I didn't buy any. Yeah, I didn't buy any bows, so it doesn't matter. But you have an attack button, and it's using all function, I believe function 1 through 10 to do all the commands. So you don't do any O to open doors, and I don't have to put a number of walking distances. So it's actually a quality of life compared to the one we just played. All right, let's go. Attack. Oh, man, yeah, he's way too fast. I think I had the speed on the wrong one. Quick. Oh, wounds don't look good. He got me. We died by a rat. But Oleus, the dwarf, found us. We only got 35 experience for killing one enemy. Do you want to re-enter? Yes. Let's go right in again. So if I'm moving around, I just have to move the arrow keys up, down, left, and right. So much better to move around the dungeon. I think we have the speed too fast. Let's go get that rat. Go. Notice how even when I was rescued, it still kept track of who I killed before. I don't think I can take this guy out. We're not strong enough level. So I'm hitting the attack button. Oh yeah. This is how I expected Dungeon Quest to go. Dying really fast. Now we have Lowenthal the mage that found us. Thanks, Lowenthal. I owe you, buddy. Do you want to re-enter? Yes. Alright, let's try it again. Go. Probably gonna get the same rat up here. Notice how as I'm moving around, my fatigue is dropping. Run. Yeah, my fatigue is already negative from moving around so quickly. Gosh, yeah, and I'm so tired I couldn't even... Right? I don't know for sure. I know he probably got references from Dungeons and Dragons. It'd be funny if he took the reference from Brian Hammerhand. He lived a hard life. Good gosh, what is this? Ant-Man? It's Ant-Man! Oh, I'm not even paying attention. I'm dying. Yeah, I must have done the speed on the fastest setting rather than the slowest setting. I thought it was hitting normal, and I hit the key. If we say no, what happens? Yeah, we return to the inn, and I think it'll keep the same character. We can choose to use the experience we got dying, maybe to level up. Now begins the return. Do you want us to return do you want us to save the dungeon? No, we do not. We want to save the character to disk. No, we don't. Insert the disk and press any key. Wait whilst I rouse the fellow. Very nice touch. Going back to the inn. Lone Stranger says, what's the password? Again? Okay, I'll play along. There we go. They asked for the copy protection again. All right, so find a character. Yes. Oh, more money that time. Silver. Oh, that's a pretty good one. Let's do last person in chat, which was Chiptune. So now we're going to play as Chiptune. You want to buy one of our fine swords? Yes, we do. And this time, let's go with, can we do half and half? Oh, we can't wield such a weapon. Darn. How about short sword? Yeah, there you go. Well-forged iron. Let's do 13. We can haggle enough? Oh, have pity. I asked but 14. Okay, so we'll do 14. Can't haggle. You got 116 silver pieces left. Do we want a shield? Yes, we do. Small shield. 9? Huh? Done. Haggle. Do you want new armor? Yes. We really need new armor. Man, it's so expensive, though. Let's go with the ring mail and see if it's strong enough. Let's do... Can you do 99? Oh, what? He asked for 101. That's all our money, I think. Yeah, we got 6 silver left. Okay, so you want to buy a bow? No, we got no money left. And Sal's? Nope, we got no money left. 6 pieces left. Okay, here we go. Let's go with this speed. M speed. That's ROUS's. That's what we were fighting. That's why we died. I know the first time I was testing this game out before the show, it was mosquitoes that were coming at me, and I was dying every single time and couldn't get past mosquitoes. Oh, do we want to turn off sounds? No, we don't. All right, what level do you want to visit? Level 1. No, 1. Go. And got the disc in, reading level 1. It's going to load us up for us way faster than it would have been 1982. Ready to continue. All right, here we go. Dungeon crawling in 1982. I wonder if he just went slower than usual, or took your time, maybe just keep going back, kill one thing, go back to the end. I'd like to know for sure. How did it work? Okay, we're in. Let's take this guy out. We are so ready now. Crunch. Doom. Dead. That's the way to go. All right, let's open up this one. Oh, that's grab or drop. No, I don't want to do that. No. 5. And then let's do 7. Nothing. Oh, there's not. What? There's nothing in the chest. That's boring. All right, let's go up here. Remember, we don't have a bow, so don't use that. But the freedom of movement using the cursor keys is pretty nice. Okay, here we go. Let's try. Anything in this one? No. Maybe it's 5. Oh, cool! A secret door. Let's go check it out. So going to the top. How do we open it up? It should be this one, right? Okay, yeah. So that's how we open. I'm using all function keys. Move our way through. Oh no, it's the mosquito! Attack, quick! Oh, another one shows up. What, there must be a nest in here? Okay, so we killed 4. Yeah, it's just mosquitoes that continue to show up. Nothing in that chest. Okay, we'll move our way here. And just keep going all the way through this side. Oh no, Ant-Man, kill him! Quick! Oh, well, we had a better run than last time. 175 experience. But man, oh man, that's tough. Gosh. That's rats the size of cats? Yes, that's true. Well, there you go. We got killed by mosquitoes. I shouldn't have said something. If I didn't say mosquito, we might be better. All right, we will not re-enter. There's our taste of Temple of Apshai, the very first time it was available for the IBM PC. I like that version better than the other, some of the other ones we played. It is, you need 64K to play that, so it is going to cost a lot. I'm still willing to go, of all the games you could play on a home computer, 3.5 stars. It's still an above average rating, and I really don't want to push it higher as an excellent or great game, just because there's better role-playing games and there's better computer games that you could play. But cool to check out and see what it's like, graphically, and it plays with the cursor keys. Yeah. Oh, the better sword? Yeah, that's probably what it was. All right, so after Temple of Apshai, we were playing them all. Let's see what our next one is. Here we go on the NASCOM. We're going to the UK, playing the games that we didn't get a chance to play on the NASCOM because I didn't know we were going to play this one originally. So I believe Eldorado Gold is another game we've seen on the BBC Micro in the United Kingdom. And so at this point, Eldorado Gold would have already been out for the NASCOM. All right, so let's take a look at artwork. We just have as a few screenshots. So we're popping into playing Eldorado Gold by Program Power. Sometime in May 1982. Eldorado Gold was the first game that's a text-only game that we finished it because it was very, very fast and easy. All right, so Eldorado Gold by David Elliott. Way to go, David. Welcome to a past age where cowboys are common. Indian terrorize the settlers and fortunes are won and lost by gold prospectors. There's a man called Billy McCluskey who said to have made a fortune where many have failed. Since his unfortunate death, a legend has grown up around the whereabouts of his lost treasure. Will you be able to find his treasure when all have failed before? If you found as much treasure as you can, go to the hotel and type score. So it's another one of those colossal cave. Go find something, get the treasure, come back, and get the points. And what do we want to do now? If we do inventory, what do we have? I have with me a wad of notes and a key. What next? What if I do... Can I do look? You're in a small miner's hut. Around you is a meager property of a miner, bed, solitary chair. On the west wall is a battered door. Open door. I can't do that. What do you mean you can't do that? On the west wall is a battered door. Okay, I can see a lit lamp. Get lamp. Okay, and a gun. Get gun. Nice. Okay, after we got all those... Oh, I remember now. Eldorado Gold is the game where we killed the mule, I think, to finish the game. But we did complete it. I won't do that for the NASCOM. If you want to see me finish Eldorado Gold all the way through, then check out the BBC Micro version of the game. All right, so after that, let's go examine. Chair. There's a chart here. I said chair. Oh, okay. On the chair must be a chart. Gotcha. Okay, get chart. Next. All right, so now examine bed. There's a gun under the bed. Wait, didn't we already pick up a gun? Get gun. All right, I guess we got it. It's not giving us any indication we got it. It just says, okay, you got it. What's next? All right, so let's go west. We're outside the miner's hut. We can see a mule wandering around. Oh, is this where it is? It is. Shoot mule. You've killed the poor mule. Oh, see, why do we have to kill the mule? And as usual, we're following a walkthrough for these text adventure games because if you thought text adventure games were challenging in North America, they are damn near impossible in the UK. And this is just the beginning. They're going to get more and more crazy to the point that even the advertising for these adventure games is, you'll never finish this game. And they make it almost impossible to finish. All right, so get shovel. Okay, we got it, I guess. Let's go west. You're at the edge of a desert. Before you, a sign says south to go to Nuggetville. Go to Nuggetville. Well, we're going to stop there. We've already played Eldorado Gold, and you got the idea. It's the text adventure game set in the Old West for the NASCOM. And just like we said before on the other game for Eldorado Gold, we've seen other text adventure games, and you can see how quickly you can finish this one, but the puzzles are very obscure. I'm going to say of all the computer games you can play for the time, there are better text adventure games, and there's better computer games of all the computers out there, so I'm going to say 2 stars for Eldorado Gold. It's a bad game, but it's the best of the bad. Thank you. Yeah, no mules were harmed in the making of this game. At least I hope not. All right, and with that, let's see what our next game is. It's time to go to the arcade, and this is the Electric Yo-Yo. Really cool release in the arcade. Kind of obscure. I've never heard of this one. Let's take a look at the artwork for Electric Yo-Yo. Starting with the advertisement flyer. Now, everything I found for this one was Taito America, even though most of the releases we've seen by Taito were first in Japan. But I have no sources that say it was released in Japan first or Japan at all. All I have is Taito in North America, so we're going to say this is a North American release. There is the arcade cabinet for the Electric Yo-Yo. Very classy. And there's the control panel. This is only controlled, I think, by the joystick. You can see we got a button for 1 and 2 players. Yeah, just a 4-way joystick's all you need, just like Pac-Man or a top-down maze game. And we have the arcade marquee, the Electric Yo-Yo. Everyone loves yo-yos. Is this the first game we've seen with a yo-yo ever? I believe it is. With mock-up advertisement flyer, an example of a screenshot too. We have the manual. Since it was North America, there we go, Taito America Corporation. Very cool cover. Way to go, Taito. Oh, let's see if it says what this game is. Or what they said it was in 1982. Electric Yo-Yo. As usual, Taito does a pretty good job with their manuals. I still give Atari the nod as the best arcade manuals that we've seen. So how do we set up the game? What the game features? Larger screen, wheels in the cabinet move the game, control panel, and introduction. Object of the game is to clear the screen of blocks, and that's B-L-O-X. Moving the yo-yo around the screen, going over each blocks to eliminate it. Player must avoid the trions and the bions. Trions are triangular snake-like creatures whose eyes will destroy the yo-yo upon contact. The trions will cause blocks to charge if he hits it unless a bion is on the blocks. In this case, the trion picks up the bion and turns green and deposits it at the next block's hit. I'm already confused. So there's trions and bions. But the idea is just to clear the screen of all of them. The bion is a small creature which moves around the blocks, trying to destroy the yo-yo. If they get the yo-yo while it's not energized, the yo-yo blows up. The score is based on the length of the string thrown out to a blocks. It ranges from 10 to 500 for an uncharged yo-yo and 21,000 for an energized one. The player accumulates a bonus counter each time they loop a charged brick and energizes. Okay, so moving the yo-yo around, I guess spinning, makes you charge up. Oh man, great shout out with Star Tropics. I don't know if we'll ever see that game, but man, that's one of my favorites. Do androids dream of playing with electric yo-yos? And wait, there's a Coco version of the original? Wow, I need to see. Well, hopefully we'll see that one, or maybe we will. Cool, that's good to hear. All right, so a free turn is issued every time you get 50,000 points by default. So keeping the yo-yo moving gets it to flash, and then you can use that, I guess, as your power-up. And anything else? They're asking about game inspection as usual. Manuals for arcade have a way to install it. Safety and so forth, power consumption. We don't need any of that. We're not setting up the arcade cabinet. All right, any other versions, we just have 2 different sets. It's time to go to the arcade and play the Electric Yo-Yo by Threshold Research, published by Taito of America, at some point in May 1982. All right, so we got all the artwork you would have seen around the arcade cabinet or around the CRT. And let's take a look at some of the attract mode. Gives us the high score table, shows us the try-on always, and the buy-ons, unless energized. Oh, and I guess that's what they look like, energized with. You loop the charge blocks to energize, and then when they energize, then you can run them through. Yeah, there you go, like that. 1,000 points for each charge blocks. Nice, and then it just goes right into the game. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so we can see the game a little bit better. Go in our screen area, and there we go. So blow it up a little bit higher so you can see what it's like. Oh, man. Okay, so it shows cool death animation in the attract mode. I'm a big fan of shrapnel in video games, so if something blows up, I want to see lots of pieces everywhere. Oh, Beam Rider, yeah. Okay, so is that the one that they called it on the Coco? It was called Beam Rider? Yeah, Rob, good shout out there. Every game that... There's so many that I've never even heard of. And that's why I wanted to do this challenge/quest to play everything, to see it all. All right, let's put a coin in and play some Electric Yo-Yo. So cool. So the yo-yo is controlled by just moving the joystick around, and that's it. And you use the string to pick up all the pieces. Let's see if we can get some there. There we go. Got one there. So now I should be able to move across and be safe from the other enemies. Oh, okay, so I can move around the black areas. We had just played Checkman, and that was more of a puzzle game in the arcade. So now Electric Yo-Yo. There we go. Yeah, I have a lot more freedom of movement, so it doesn't feel as much of a puzzle game. More of a, like an action arcade game. There we go. Yeah, so all this area, I can move around just slowly. And you can notice that if I avoid the enemies. If you don't, you die. Yeah, play control feels pretty good. Oh, we already have game over. Man, lives went fast. Let's go again. All right, so I'm going to move the yo-yo down here. Now, if I move up on the joystick, watch, it grabs the string and pulls you to the nearest one. So if I go down, you see it'll pull me there. And if I am in this spot here, if I go up, it's going to pull me all the way up and helps you move around to get all the pieces. So in a way, it's kind of like a maze game like Pac-Man, picking up all the dots, but done differently in a way we haven't seen before. But makes it really fun. And you want to get a good pattern. Oh, see, and you also have to make sure you pick up the right power-up before you go over the... I already forgot the name. Scions and Dions? Flyons? I forget the name of them. So you have to watch out for the main one that's going around. Every time it bumps into one of the dots, then... Yeah, so cool. There we go. So I got it. So now I can move freely across there. Very nice. Oh, nope, not looking good. Oh, he's blocking it. I thought he was going to bounce off the wall a different way. And he didn't. Yeah, very cool idea. And it's a yo-yo. There we go. So finish the round. Do we get a cutscene? Very colorful, very bright, very nice. The other thing, too, is the way this is played feels very addictive. I don't know why. I want to keep playing and getting better at the mechanic because it's something new. This very easily could be something that was created first on the home computer, but we have not seen it. Oh, nope. Not going to happen, buddy. Let's see if we can pick one of these up before they go away. There we go. Now we can freely go in here, wipe a lot of them out since we have that temporary invulnerability. No, go, go. Yeah, get away from him. Yeah, almost like when you first play Pac-Man, you ask yourself, I bet I could find the optimal way to move through the maze. That's how I feel about this game. I want to know what the optimal way to play and move around as the yo-yo and get better at it. Look at that. Oh, yeah. That's great. Yeah, lots of fun. The electric yo-yo. Yeah, that's true. I think this was the first. Well, this is the first we've seen. And as far as I'm concerned, the first we see is the first. No other game has taken this mechanic or played like this. Oh, I thought I was going to get the power-up on the way. But no. Yeah, second after. Oh, maybe it was the second. Oh, that's okay. 4.5 stars already. Yeah, really good. I love it when people are sending out how they would rate the game back in 1982. So get your star ratings ready for Electric Yo-Yo. I want to keep going. It's so much fun. That is nice. Okay, so for all the games we've seen to this point, we rate the games on what platform. So this is arcade. Competition is a little bit higher in arcade. I would say of all the games we've seen, this is a great or excellent title for the arcade. I'm going to go 4 stars for the Electric Yo-Yo. I wouldn't say this is like one of the best arcade games you could play for the time. That would be around this range. I still say it's a great game, though. 4 stars for the Electric Yo-Yo. Lots of fun. I want to keep playing it right now. And with that, let's see what our next game is. From the arcade back at home, this is the Commodore VIC-20, and this is Escape. The Escape by Noofkop, not to be confused with another Escape that's on the VIC-20. We play every game here, so there's a lot of same names that we find, and Escape is no different. Let's see what the artwork's like for Escape. The Noofkop boxes are just the cassette tape down there in the box that you'd hang on the rack at a computer store. All right, so after the front of the box, we flip it over the back, and we have other Noofkop products. Which ones have we seen so far? Oh, we haven't seen Crazy Kong yet. Defender of Tri. We've seen Alien Panic. A few of those. Rescue from Newfound we've seen there. And there's the cassette tape we'll be popping in. Our Commodore VIC-20 with an example of the screenshot. No manual, but the other game called Escape is a type-in game from Germany that we may or may not get to. But let's play the Noofkop version at some point in May 1982 by Scott Elder. Way to go, Scott. We've seen a few releases by him. Oh, okay. Escape is a maze game. It is creating the maze for us. And we've seen this time and time again. Yeah, there you go. Just generate it for us. Most likely random every time. And after it generates it... Oh, where are we? That must be the exit there. And then... Where are we? We're still waiting for the load. Okay, there we go. We're that Y on the map. And I barely saw where we were. Okay, so it's a 3D maze game we've seen before, but this one does not use the Commodore VIC-20 joystick. I'm wiggling it, nothing happens. Paddles don't even work either. This one is keyboard only. So if I say in to move north, I'm here in the same spot because this is the edge. So if I want to go east, which way? Do I want to go west or east? No, we'll go east. It turns the corner, and now we're now going east. So, okay, go east again. And then go, okay, let's go south. And then this is us looking down a hallway, believe it or not. And we keep going south. I hit south again. Keep going. Oh, there you go. Now it looks more like a hallway. And then we keep going south to get closer. And now I believe we're at the end. So of all the 3D maze games we played, we've already done a lot. This is a genre that's pretty big in 1982. This maze game is the most ridiculous as far as cardinal directions and the way it's drawn. This is us at the edge, and we can't go any farther forward, which makes no sense because there's a wall right here on our side. And it has to go, you have to push the direction you're in. So if I keep pushing, like if I want to turn the corner, I have to hit W to turn west. So if I hit W, this is us turning the corner, and now we're at the end of the hallway. And I believe, yeah, it's a dead end, right? Yeah, so if I keep going forward, I have to do W, west, and then this is as far as we go. So if I want to turn around, I can hit E, and it turns us directly around the way. So the most confusing 3D maze game we've ever played. I believe up to now we've done 15 or so 3D maze games, but this one, good night, it's just ridiculous. If I want to go north, this is us turning the corner. And so this looks like we're at a wall, just one giant X. But no, this is us looking down a hallway. So not only is it a 3D maze game, it's not even done well or drawn well. This is what we have, and we know there's stuff better out there. So if you're just now joining the channel, or you see this game, you think, well, it can't be that bad. It's 1982. I'm sure you, because of the times, this is what they could have done. No. We've seen other games on the computer, and this is not cool. So escape. You need to escape from this game and not play it. I say of all the games we've seen to this point, it is, I'm going to say, borderline broken. So 1 star for escape of all the 3D maze games. And this isn't part of a compilation either. This is just one game, and you saw how big the maze was. It's just too confusing to navigate. It doesn't make it enjoyable at all. That's a good point too. Yeah, if it was a type-in game, I could give that too. But there's the cassette tape. It's real. Escape is real. It even has a screenshot on the cassette of the 3D perspective that looks better than the game itself. Oh man. All right, so after escape, let's see what our next game is. We're back on the NASCOM. This is Galaxy Attack that was originally released in 1981. We're trying to play all the games on the NASCOM we've missed, because now that we can play it, let's play them all. Galaxy Attack is another game that doesn't have any artwork except the screenshots, so no box we could find for this one. It's a pretty obscure computer in the United Kingdom. And over here on the left is the computer program that was happening in 1982 to instruct everyone in the United Kingdom about computers. This would be one of them. The NASCOM 3 was the self-built, well, the NASCOM 1 and 2 you built yourself as kits, but the NASCOM 3, which is over here on the left side, that's the one you could buy outright. All right, let's pop in and play Galaxy Attack by Southeast London Software at some point in 1981. All right, we're in. The first step is, does it load on the home computer? And it does. Oh, thanks, Mark. Fan of the NASCOM. That's great. Or at least know about the NASCOM. All right, so press any key to... Oh, actually, it's going through some attract mode. That's pretty cool. So it's an arcade game. You can see possibly developed and released 1981. Who knows? Because some of these are really hard to pin down. But I like it. As far as the games we played on the NASCOM, this is the best one so far. It's an arcade-style game. Are we in? Oh, I didn't even start. It did put us in. I thought it was still doing attract mode. All right, so we're playing what looks like the start of Space Invaders, but it is Galaxian, which does have the same kind of crawl as... Oh my gosh, the enemies are so fast, though. We are playing... The system we're on is the NASCOM 2, at least spec-wise, and I wonder if this was originally for the NASCOM, or made for the NASCOM 1. These systems, you were building your own, so you could customize RAM speed, so I'm wondering if we're going this a little bit faster, because these are brutal enemies. Congratulations, you scored the top 10. Type in your name. One case, right? Yeah. Chrono it is. All right, let's try this again. I'm ready now. I'm ready to go. I also saw I could attack more often than usual. It's keyboard only. There's no joystick that I know of for the NASCOM. And I can fire off multiple shots. Look at this. Just go. Now that I know how difficult it is, now still not good enough. Yeah, these are the... Look how fast they're going. It's going to be a little tricky to show. Gosh, they're so fast. The game's on the NASCOM because you were able to put in and replace RAM and make it customized to what you want. All right, so again, top 5. Last person in chat was Manly. We'll put Manly on the top there. All right, here we go. All right, last chance. Press any key to start. Let's go. Let's go. Go, 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 go. Get the shots in before they start coming down. Quick. All right. Oh my gosh. Wow. And it's almost like Space Invaders. Look how fast they are. When there's less enemies. When there's less enemies on the screen, it goes even faster. So it's almost like the game's programmed to have only a certain amount of characters, and when they leave the screen, it speeds up and up faster and faster. Nice. All right, so think of all the computer games we played at the time. We played a lot of variants of Galaxian, and Galaxy Attack is another Galaxian variant. I would say of all the computer games we played for the time, it's got the challenge, and of course you would need to adjust the memory of your NASCOM, but that was fun. For the speed, I'm gonna go 3.5 stars for 3.5 stars for Galaxy Attack. Yeah, right. At the end, it's just going faster and faster and faster, which is kind of an homage to Space Invaders, so I like it. All right, so after all the games we played, this is where we end our evening. We're going to be continuing in 1982, and if you could go back to this time in 1982, how would you rate the games on our 5-star rating scale? Also, let me know if there's any games we haven't played before, like if you were on a NASCOM or another computer. Hopefully not too many computers, because we've already gone a little too deep. But if there's something coming up you don't want to be missed, let me know. That's it for today, and like I always say, why play one video game when you can play them all? Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are Perpetually Retro, and we will catch you